How to change a hose. Need a crescent wrench. Put the crescent wrench on the hose. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. From the direction of what you're putting on. So if you're going up, righty-tighty, and so on and so forth. I wanted to explain a couple other things in the video though about hoses and plugs. This hose here is screwed into the pipe. So if I took this hose off and I wanted to plug the hose, I would need a cap, not a plug. And then this pipe has threading inside of it, so it would need a plug, not a cap. So cap goes over, plug goes in. As well, we always recommend when a customer busts a hose, and these are the most common hoses that are busted. We always recommend that you take the whole machine to the hydraulic place. At least when you're putting on a new thumb and you haven't hooked up hoses, you don't have anything to bring to the hydraulic shop to make the hoses. If someone busts the hose, a lot of times you can just take off the hose and bring it to them, and then they should be able to change it. At the hydraulic shop, they have their own measuring tool, so they're able to measure these threading. Now you can memorize the threading of all threads. I haven't, because I'm not that good, but a lot of people are pretty good at that. And then you can just go and tell them, hey, I need this JCB threading or pipe thread, things like that. Whenever you do get new hoses, I always recommend getting some kind of protectant on there. Like this one, this hose here, the metal coil is made for a high vibration. Like next to this metal, if we didn't have this hose would bounce off of this metal all day long, and eventually it would just wear out and bust the hose. But this hose has been on here for years, and the reason why is because it's got the metal coil around it. This one doesn't need a metal coil. The metal coil is super expensive. This one just needs some kind of something to protect it from all the brush and sticks and stuff that it rose up against. This one doesn't have one because we went cheap on it, but I would prefer to have that. This is actually still considered a hydraulic hose, even though it's a metal pipe. It's just a metal hosing. They bend a lot, as you can see right here. From this angle, you can see that it's bent out. You can take that in a vice grip and just bend it right back, super easy. And we should have a clamp actually right here so that this doesn't get worse. I'll get to work on that. The hoses that bust most often are the dozer blade hoses. Way down there, you can see them right there. Those and the hydraulic thumb hoses are probably the most common. Again, this is a standard flow. High flow has 5, this one only has 3, so it's a standard. You've got your typical couplers, and a lot of times you've got a bleed line, and I believe this is the bleed. Basically, it's just a pressure release. And that's pretty much it on the couplers. We don't have any attachments here that take couplers, but for the couplers, right here you get a lot of dirt right in this area, and you get a lot of dirt in here and a lot of dirt around this. You always want to clean it off, wipe it clean, especially the couplers off of the attachment. You want to wipe those clean as well, because if dirt enters through these ports, dirt and debris will get into the hydraulic tank, will mess up the hydraulic filter and the hydraulic pump, and all of that is very expensive to change. Keep an eye on these guys here. Sometimes those hoses there bust. Keep an eye on the Bobcats couplers, because those are in a pretty bad spot. The grapple bucket sometimes does not work on a Bobcat because the hands or the claws on the grapple bucket, you can see right here, they go up just like this. So they'll go up and actually whack those couplers, and we've had to replace them before, so watch out for that. Right here on the Yanmars are super nice. This is the end of the bucket, as you can see, bucket. Right here we've got a shut-off valve, which is super handy. Sometimes, I think on some of them we have hoses here, with the thumbs, of course. And we've had those bust, and all we do is tell the customer, sorry, up there. Sometimes we tell the customer if the hose busts right here, we'll just take the hose off, take a wrench, and you can close this valve here and keep the oil from leaking out. They can take the thumb off themselves, take the hoses off, they can keep working on their job while we run out there and try to fix it as fast as possible. Again, you can see the coils. I love the Anwars because they put coils on everything. And I think that's pretty much it.